Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, October 14th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. Real quick, a couple of clarification points before I get started. First off, the price you see over here will be moving around, and then the candlestick you see will be moving around. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. Now, unless you live under a rock, you know that the markets had a huge move today. Started off terribly and then recovered very, very nicely. So the first one we're looking at here is TQQQ. This is an ETF that will allow you to make money if the NASDAQ market goes up, which is why this one had such a big move. It's just at a lower price, so it allows you to gain entry to the NASDAQ market, like I said, at a lower price. And this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the previous videos, but you know I've been tracking this one. We've been tracking that red line right there as resistance, and you can see price came up here, got the breakthrough there, and then just continuing on up. So that just, goes to illustrate the point. Not that you needed me to tell you that it was a really strong day, but from a technical point of view, great to see that trend line has now been broken. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of these lines now. And in my mind, the big question mark moving forward is, can the price stay above that purple line there, that 50-period moving average valued at 1850? And why is this level important? Well, nothing can go straight up. But if the price comes down here, bounces around that level and heads back up, what would you still have in that situation? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have lows down there. And if you envision those as stair steps, you'd still have progress in the upwards direction. And that's what it's all about. Truly strong moves are going to make progress. Nothing goes straight up, but at least show signs of progress, which does bring the question, okay, well, but how are you defining a sign of progress? And that's why charts are great, because it allows you to take things and make it very visual. So the quote-unquote sign of progress, in my mind, being right there at $18.50. In terms of next big levels of resistance, key level to watch is going to be that pink line right there, the 200-period moving average, right now valued at $20.50. But all in all, very, very big move. Is there genuine power behind it? Let's see if the price can show signs of progress. And again, that sign of progress being staying above $18.50. Next one here, SPY. Again, not talking about the NASDAQ market, more so the big picture market, but this is going to be very brief because same general idea here, but I do want to cover, both of the main markets, the SPY and then the NASDAQ. And I realize that there's a lot of NASDAQs in the SPY, but point here being that the SPY and TQQQ, two very, very popular ticker symbols, but same general premise. Yes, started off terrible. Yes, very nice move to the upside. Is this a truly strong move? Well, you now know what I'm going to say. Well, we got to be able to show signs of progress. How are we defining a sign of progress? In this situation right here at $360. So that's what I'm going to leave it, because I'm not going to go and repeat myself. You understand now how that's, can serve as a higher stair step, which shows progress. So as far as SPY is concerned, 360 going to be that sign of progress in terms of next levels of resistance, which is a little different than what we just looked at, because this one is actually up above the 200-period moving average. So this is a slight difference. And the next key level of resistance on this one now, at least in my mind, going to be up there at the 373.50 mark. So let's see how it continues to play out. Next, MMAT, a total train wreck today. I take that back. It really does depend on perspective, because yes, if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, you bought right there, you bought right there, buying the dip, and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then from that perspective, yes, things look terrible. But to be fair, from the big picture perspective, even though there was a very big pullback, the price is still up above its 50-period moving average. So if you were to put that, level of support down here, which, makes a lot of sense as a key level of 87 cents, if the price comes down there, maintains above it, then as I've done with the previous two, if you look at the lows, then technically speaking, and then envision those as stair steps, these lows are still progressing in the upwards direction. But again, I'm definitely making those bullish comments from somebody that cares about the big picture point of view, because I fully understand if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you definitely don't care about these stair steps. So it goes back to what was your perspective going in. Big picture perspective, to be fair, it does still have the opportunity to build that higher stair step and show an overall uptrend. But yeah, if you're some sort of day trader, then yeah, things are looking pretty rough. Next one, AMZN, and like a lot of these other stocks, which is going to be the common theme, but when you have such a monster move in the market, that pretty much takes all stocks with it, and you're going to have a lot of very similar, not necessarily patterns, but just general approaches. So once again, yes, Amazon, huge move upwards. What is that progress point? What is that quote-unquote sign of strength? And this one right here at that $110 mark, so keep an eye on that. In terms of areas of resistance, very curious about that trend line right there, which you can see is doing battle with the price as I speak. So right there, that'll be the first big question mark is, can the price finally break through this trend line right here? And then if it can, the next key level of resistance goes up to that pink line there, the 200 period moving average, right now valued at, let's just call it 115.50. And again, 110 going to be that main marker as far as is the price going making progress, or is the price going back to where it was, which of course would not be a sign of progress. But yes, I think that trend line there is going to be the main level that most people are watching. So let's see if the price can get the break. Next one, AMC. And yes, even AMC was able to get dragged upwards by the market today, but not nearly as strong as some of these other stocks we're looking, which does make sense because, AMC has been very weak. But I do want to get a couple things noted here. First one, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this level of resistance up to 627, because when you look closely, you can see that there's been up to that area twice now, and both times has been rejected. But really, before you even put too much focus on that, the main question mark in the very near term is going to be all about that purple line right there, 50-period moving average, and can the price break above there? Now, to be fair, as I speak, last 30 minutes here, you can see the price is once again approaching that level. So we'll see if the price can push up through it. And if it does, don't get me wrong, that's definitely a good step in the bullish direction. But I wouldn't get too excited because then you have this next level up here to worry about. But overall, nice bounce today. Let's see if the price can show some signs of progress moving forward. Real quickly, wanted to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online event that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can be used, how it should be used, and why it's so powerful in building consistency, then I want you to get signed up for the free event. Now, one quick note here and a special note, because it's genuinely a live event, depending on when you watch this is going to determine a few things. Now, as a father of 5 kids, I get it. Life is busy. So if you already have something on your schedule tonight and you can't make it, go ahead, drop me an email. Maybe you're watching this on Friday morning and you've just completely missed it. Go ahead, drop me an email because the event will be recorded. So after I get the event recorded and uploaded, I'd be happy to send you a link to it. So drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be, like I said, happy to do that for you. Or if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up. Next one, NIO, very, very popular stock. And it's made the first key move. And the first key move will mean more to those that have watched past videos, but we've been talking about that red line there. So finally got the breakthrough there. But it's still just, it was a good day today, so I don't want to, take away from that. But still just a lot of work that needs to be done, with the next one being that purple line there, 50-period moving average. So yes, step one is complete. We'll put a check mark by that. But the next big dynamic here moving forward is, can the price actually break above that 50-period moving average? So you want to keep a very close eye on that level. As far as levels of support, the main level that I would say to keep a very close eye on is that 1235 mark, because if the price were to come down through there, then that basically is putting the price right back to where it was. And as I've already mentioned, prices that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine power, of true bullishness, not a sign of progress if the price goes back to where it was. So that's why in my mind that level is going to be important. But yeah, nice, respectable bounce. Is there any sort of genuine power behind it? Let's see what happens. Next one, TSLA. And yes, like the other ones, very nice bounce. But what I find very intriguing about this one is the price is just now starting to peek its head up above this red line here, which even today has been a problem. So it's not necessarily a problem in the sense of breaking up above that red line, because the price is, broken above it several times and is above it right now. But the big question mark is it's kind of acting as a magnet. It's just not really letting any sort of further continuation occur. Now, that doesn't mean that more continuation can't show up on Friday, but that's the whole idea of a watch list, is to find those unique, to find those interesting situations and not randomly rush out and buy it, but to watch and see if the price does behave in a way that fits your personal risk, strategy. So, as of now, that's in my mind the big question mark. That's the interesting dynamic is, okay, yeah, it's broken, but can it get any separation? Can it get any sort of follow through? Because as of now, this trend line here is being very sticky and not really letting the price jump any further too far up above it. So keep an eye on that. But if the price can get up there through that 224 mark, I think that'd be a great sign that, okay, a breakout is officially finally underway and that quote unquote magnet has been broken. So keep a close eye on 224. Next one, NUTX. Very, very nice move today and a good solid pattern here. And you got to think that a lot of people are watching this pattern. So as I draw it, please realize I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is some sort of great discovery on my part. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, caught a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very worthwhile movements. So let me change that to green there to represent more so the support part of the pattern. So yes, as of right now, late day, there was a bit of a downtrend that started to form here. But the key dynamic here is, well, what was going on before that downtrend? And you had this huge move in the upwards direction. So to make this all one color, make it easier to see, this is what would be known as a bull flag pattern. So if you like to play bull flags, if you like to play stocks down below or right around that dollar mark, keep an eye on this. And while nothing is guaranteed, it's more than valid, more than plausible to think that if the price goes up there and breaks up through it, you could get that self-fulfilling prophecy where people are breaking out just because, oh, it's breaking out. Oh, I'm a breakout player. Oh, I'm supposed to be buying. So keep an eye on it if you like this price range. Next one, CCL, which I've tracked quite a bit and still am tracking, although a little bearish on this one. Now, it did recover nicely, but you've been seeing all the charts we've looked at, and we've seen some very, very strong-looking stocks. And this one, I mean, it didn't even get up and break those highs from Wednesday there. Now, does that mean it's the end of the world and this thing's going to roll back over? I'm not saying that. There are no guarantees. I'm just saying this one I would definitely call weak compared to the overall market, which in my mind brings about, all right, are these levels down here going to come into play? That 50-period moving average and then the trend line, you can use both. You can use either of those. But are they going to come into play? And if they do, can they actually hold? Because if they don't, then in my mind, that's going to create a whole nother surge of downward selling pressure and that much more bearishness. But who knows? Maybe this is just kind of an odd day and this thing's going to break right back upwards. But after today's movement, a very clear trend line in the near term has now been formed right there. Check that thing out. I mean, a trend line of beauty right there. So a break of, let's just call it 720, then puts the next level of resistance up there at that second red line at 760. But I would not put too much focus on 760 until the price can at least get up above that trend line. But yeah, overall, relatively weak. Next one, SQQQ. Now, this is the exact opposite of TQQQ, that first stock we looked at. TQQQ meant, you know what, you can make money if prices go up in the NASDAQ. But this one allows you to make money if prices go down. So if the NASDAQ falls, this one is going to go up, which is exactly why this one went down so much today, because the QQQ went up. So in other words, it's just a way to make money if you think the NASDAQ is going to go down. And what I find interesting about this is the price, to give credit where credit's due, terrible day, but it is still holding above that pink line, the very famous 200-period moving average, right now valued at, let's just call it $57.40. So can that level still hold? That's the unique situation here, which again is the whole idea behind a watch list. So there's going to be people out there saying, no, it's only a matter of time before this thing breaks through the bottom of that levels, breaks through there. And I completely see the reasoning. I hear what they're saying. I understand. I would not say they're being irrational. There's also going to be people saying, no, the bottom here is in. This thing's going to get a nice bounce. I completely see where they're coming from. And that's why risk management is so important, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong, and you just got to be able to manage that risk. So I see both sides of the coin here, but the underlying theme here is it isn't interesting. It is a unique situation, and this one, was up over 200 million shares traded today, so a lot of people watching. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, want you to get signed up for the class. It'll be this evening, Thursday, October 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern. But like I said earlier, if you already have something on your schedule or if you're watching this Friday morning, the event will be recorded, and I'd be happy to send you a link to that recording. So go ahead and just drop me an email to clay@claytrader.com. But again, if you can be there live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here very soon. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a simple comment down below. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. Tell me what you traded today. But everybody, hopefully I'll see you here in a few hours. But thanks for watching again. Take care. Have a good one.